Welcome everybody, and to this episode of Techsavvy. And today we're looking at a skill that I've been requested for, which is more on copying and pasting as a technique to aid your use of technology. So today we're looking at particularly copy and pasting from an internet page. And of course, the main thing about that is to consider copyright, particularly if it's a piece of research or other documents, and to always cite if you're using it in another context, like a research or study paper that you're using for an assignment. If you're a student, then certainly I would advise that you cite the reference and where it comes from and how it works. So without further, right, I'm going to now share my screen, and I will click over here. I will now put my whole screen on, and we will share audio, and I will move across to this page. Now, what we're looking at here is a food page, and it's from BBC Food Guide, and perhaps a use would be copying and pasting the ingredients and the method of work. First of all, I'm going to get rid of the video advert because we don't need that down here. So down the left-hand side, it's in columns. So we've got to do this in several stages. So for instance, if I wanted to just copy down the recipe ingredients, I take my mouse pointer, and I have several ways of doing this. For this one, I will use the diagonal method. So I'm going to start at the top here, and then pulling my mouse, I'm doing it quite slowly so you can see what I'm doing, all the way down till we get to the end. And if you notice, if I move too far, I take the whole thing on that side. But I want to do it separately on this occasion. So what I've done is I've highlighted that. Now I have two methods I can use. I can right mouse click, I'll stress that, over here, and I have the options of copying. So I can do that, or I can use Control-C, which is down the bottom left of the keyboard, and the C key to copy that. So I've now put that in what's called the buffer, or the memory of the computer. You can't see that change. There's nothing to indicate what I've done. But what I have done is I've actually opened up Word, and I've created a blank document with a heading ingredients, and I can then right mouse click again if I wished and press paste, and there you can sort of see that the information is written down there, not in the way that we saw it on the website, but there are active kind of links there that I can follow to look at what a butternut squash looks like. So I can go and have a look at that if I wished. So there's the way that the copying works. It copies all the information as we have seen it there. So let's go back to the website again and click again. And this time we're going to do the methods for this particular recipe. By the way, I haven't told you what the recipe is. So it's coconut and squash dansak. So here we go. So if I wanted to take that as a way of copying, this applies to any website page which will allow this to happen. Occasionally you get something that's blocked, but that is rare. So another method I can use for this is the shift and down arrow key, particularly if I'm not very good at copying. So I might start off with the mouse, but I'm now going to use the down arrow key whilst holding the shift key, and it picks everything up. Sometimes people aren't very good at trying to do that, so that becomes a problem. So I'm just going to select that amount, and this time I'm going to just use the Control-C key rather than the right mouse option. Again, it might be easier for shortcuts for that to happen. And then clicking on the Word document, I pull it up, and you can see I've already put the heading in method, and to place it, it's Control-V. Okay, So there's my steps to making that. So the two keys you need to know is CTRL plus C. So you hold down the C key, hold down the CTR key, and press or tap the C key. Okay, so that's how the method. And to actually, that copies it. CTRL key plus V. That enables you to hold down the CTRL key and press or tap the V key. So I'll tell you what those two operations do again. That is copy. I'll just put equal copy, and that equals paste. I think I mentioned this before. Whoops, I put the equal sign in. I mentioned this before, but the reason why is it a C key and a V key? Well, C stands for copy, but V doesn't stand for paste. And the main reason is they're next to each other on the keyboard. The C and V key are next to each other on the keyboard. So I'm going to stop sharing now, come back to our screen here. So here we are back again, having stopped our screen share. I hope that was really useful to see. Applications for that is anything really, hobbies. You can actually copy pictures as well. So I might just demonstrate that. So if you wanted to have a picture of that particular recipe and what you're doing, let's go back again and we'll share the whole screen and click share again. Go back to the actual picture at the top. So I want to take that picture. Okay. So again, I right mouse click over the image and press the option copy image. Okay. Then go back to my recipe and I'll just put it in the heading up there. And the keys that I would use are Control V. And there is the picture. So I'll just put the heading in, coconut, squash. And I think it was, let's have a look, coconut and squash dansek. I'm not so sure about that word, but I think I'll make my life easier and just copy all of it. Now can you see the value of what I'm showing you? It actually saves time and gets it spelt correctly. So again, if I made a mistake, I could go across there and actually just alter that. And if you notice, there's a bit of a large space between what I'm looking at there and the next thing. So I just go to the line and press the backspace key, which pulls up all the information. There's still a bit more to go. So I use the down arrow key and just press once back on the backspace key, and that pulls it up. Well, that's all for today, and I hope it was useful. Next week, we will do something different. Maybe go on a tour. Who knows? Do tune in. If you've been following Techsavvy, you'll know exactly where to go on YouTube, but I will post it directly after this presentation. Thank you for watching. Speak to you again and see you again. Bye for now.